Hi, I'm Marco from Boney to Beastly, and today I'm going to show you the heels elevated goblet squat. It's a great variation if you're just learning how to squat, or if you've been squatting for a while and you're looking for a variation that's great for hip mobility. For this exercise, I'm using a slant board or wedge type thing. If you don't have access to that, you can just use weight plates and just put them under your heels. I'm working at about a hip width, slightly outside a hip width stance. You can also make your own slant by piling like a larger plate on top of some smaller plates if you want to have that full foot contact. Here's the breakdown for the lift. So there's a few main components. The first one is going to be, we want to have our torso stacked. So that means our pelvis is underneath our rib cage, which is under our head. Now to do that, we're going to start with a slight pelvic tuck. So that's bringing that belt buckle up very slightly, and then bring the rib cage back. And as we do that, we can reach the weight slightly forward, and that should help us engage our abs. So we're gonna push the elbows slightly forward, feel the rib cage move backwards, and then bring our head in slightly. So a slight chin tuck can help facilitate that. So we wanna keep that position the whole time as we do this lift. The next thing is, this is an important piece, is keeping heel contact throughout the duration of the lift. So it doesn't mean we have to be super intensely on our heels where our toes are up like so. We still want a flat foot, but we want to be able to feel weight in the heel the whole time. And then once we got our stacked position with the torso, we have our heel contact. This is what the move will look like. So we're going to initiate the lift by reaching the knees forward and trying to drive the knees as far forward as we can with our heel contact. And then once we hit around 90 degrees with our squat, it's okay if these knees are gonna come backwards slightly as we sit down into this more upright position in the bottom. To go up, knees will come forward slightly, and we will press up and reverse that motion. So it goes knees forward, and then knees back. Knees forward, and at the top, we come back a little bit. And one thing that helps when we're doing this exercise is just going with a slightly slower tempo. Having the weight in the front is going to help counterbalance, which is going to help us stay upright. Whew. This is a variation to help work on feeling the ribs coming back, as well as feeling a bit more of your core working. So you can use, I'm using a med ball 10 pounds, you can use a weight plate to do this. All we're gonna do is we'll find that stacked position and then think about pushing that weight away from you as you feel the ribs moving back. So we're not crunching, we're staying tall, but we're feeling that rib cage move backwards. That should help activate the abs. And as we squat, we're gonna keep that reach. Okay, so we're reaching out as we sit down. And seeing if we can feel those abs working throughout. This is an assisted version. You can use a power rack for this if you have the TRX cables or gymnastic rings, or if you have a fence. And all this does is it just helps take away a bit more load. We can work on the technique a little bit more, and I can feel myself falling back a little bit. So I can still stay stacked, but feeling that weight shift backwards as I sit down. And now I could adjust my grip throughout, and it can help me come up. I can use my hands as necessary. But it's helpful to have this assistance to feel that weight shift backwards and then come down into it. Now, hanging out in here, feeling that heel contact, getting this reach here, this is also just a great stretch in general for lower back and the hips. All I would do is hang out here, do the nice exhale. Try to exhale as much air out as you can till you feel a little bit of abs. Keep those abs as you breathe in quietly through your nose. you can feel a little bit of expansion in that lower back area. That's gonna help loosen things up.